guys, today we're talking about additives and colors in soap, and this is poppy seeds, and my hands are wet, so I am not going to touch them right this second because my hands are damp. But now I'm doing a double batch of soap, and whenever I do a half a cup of these for a single batch, and I use a cup, of course, for a double batch. So this is a cup measurer, so that's about right once it levels out. And this is poppy seeds, and poppy seeds just feel awesome when you're washing, and you can see the poppy seeds in this bar. But now there is one disadvantage, and that is that these little poppy seeds, as you're washing with it, a few of them will be laying on the bottom of the tub, but they just wash right down the drain, and they're very tiny, and so I don't think, but that is the only thing that I use that has, I don't put like a lot of herbs and things in my soap because I worry about clogging people's drains and then fussing at me about it, like by putting lavender buds, which is much more larger plant material, but I do put poppy seeds in, and it just feels awesome, and it feels like a tiny finger massage, and so I just love that. And now the color is from the Alkanet, and so I'll have those there, and I put this, the soap is still cooking, but I put that in when I put the super fats in. And so then we're going to use, to make that blue, we're going to use I believe this is a half of a teaspoon, yes, a half of a teaspoon twice, because I'm doing a double batch, but it would just be a half a teaspoon if you're doing a single batch of one of my recipes. And you can find my recipes at www.kimberlymcnutt.com, and so that is that's www.kimberly, Kimberly, Mcnutt, MCNUTT.com. And so then I'm going to just take a little whisk, and I'm going to blend that into my super fats, and you'll see my free recipes there, and those are listed in single batch, and I think on some of them it tells you a double batch, but you just times everything by 2 if it just says single batch and you're wanting to do a double. You need a 7-quart crock pot to do a double. And how do you find out the size of your crock pot? Is you take a quart jar and fill it up with water 7 times, and if you can get all of that into your crock pot, you're good. For a single batch, you need a 4-quart crock pot, so then you would fill your crock pot up 4 times with your quart jar of water to do that. Now you can buy Alkanet root at Essential Depot, and this Alkanet root looks plum colored, and in cold processed soap I believe they get some plum colors, but with hot processed soap we can get some pretty blues. On most of the recommendations on spices, I do say to put a whole tablespoon in, but if you use a whole tablespoon you get midnight black, so we don't use a whole tablespoon per single batch, which is what we use in most of my recipes for spices and herbs. Alright, so that's going to be some pretty soap.